Baron Samedi appears as a figure who dissolves every boundary between sacred and profane, between laughter and terror, between death and the promise of rebirth. He wears a top hat, smokes a cigarette, drinks rum, and yet he is the guardian of cemeteries, the master of crossroads, the spirit who opens and closes the gates of existence. His presence is grotesque and sublime at once, because he embodies the truth we all try to avoid. Death is not simply an end, but a threshold, a passage where the human being confronts mystery. To speak of Baron Samedi is to speak of a mask that mocks our seriousness, of an archetype that forces us to face what we hide, of a figure that reminds us that life renews itself only when it accepts dissolution. He is lord of decomposition, but also guardian of fertility, because from the soil where bodies rest springs the seed of new existence. The Haitian Voodoo tradition recognizes him not only as a spirit of death, but as a mediator between worlds. Baron Samedi is invoked in rituals of healing, because only one who commands death can restore life. He is called in moments of transition because only one who knows the threshold can guide the living through darkness. His irreverence, his obscene humor, his theatrical posture are part of a spiritual pedagogy. He teaches that we should not fear the end, but laugh at it, because laughter is the weapon against despair. Baron Samedi shows that death is inevitable, but also that life is indestructible, because it always returns in new forms. In-depth psychology. Baron Samedi embodies the archetype of the shadow. He brings to the surface what we repress: fear of death, desire for transgression, the need to be reborn. Jung described archetypes as primordial images emerging from the collective unconscious, and Baron Samedi is one of those images, clothed in Haitian cultural symbols, but resonating universally. He is the skeleton that dances, the master of the feast in the graveyard, the spirit who transforms tragedy into celebration. His figure reminds us that the unconscious is not only a space of terror, but also of creativity, because it is in darkness that the seeds of transformation germinate. Philosophically, Baron Samedi can be seen as metaphor of eternal return. Nietzsche spoke of the necessity of affirming life, even in the face of infinite repetition. And Baron Samedi is that affirmation. He laughs because he knows everything returns, that death is only a curve in the cycle. Kierkegaard spoke of the leap of faith, and Baron Samedi is that leap, trusting that the end is only the beginning of another journey. He is guardian of paradox, because he unites what seems irreconcilable: decomposition and fertility, laughter and terror, ending and renewal. To narrate Baron Samedi is to narrate the human condition. He shows that we cannot flee death, but we can transform it into ritual. He teaches that the threshold is not only a space of pain, but also of revelation. He reminds us that every crossroads is an opportunity of choice, and that every choice is a small death, followed by rebirth. Baron Samedi is master of transitions, and therefore he is profoundly relevant in a world that lives in constant change. His iconography speaks directly to the unconscious. The top hat that distinguishes him as Lord, the cigarette that marks transgression, the rum that celebrates life, the skull that records death. Each element is a sign communicating multiple levels of meaning. The hat is power, but also irony. The cigarette is pleasure, but also decay. The rum is celebration, but also offering. The skull is ending, but also portal. Baron Samedi is a collage of symbols that together create an unforgettable figure. In ritual, he is invoked with offerings and chants. Practitioners call his name, ask for his intervention, offer him rum and tobacco. He responds with presence, with signs, with manifestations that can be interpreted as healing or as challenge. The ritual is not only external practice, but also internal experience. To invoke Baron Samedi is to confront one's own shadow, to accept that death is part of life, to open oneself to the possibility of rebirth. In philosophical narrative, Baron Samedi symbolizes individuation. Jung spoke of the necessity of integrating the shadow to achieve wholeness, and Baron Samedi is that shadow that must be recognized. He forces us to look at what we avoid, to accept what we deny, to integrate what we reject. Only then can we become whole. Baron Samedi is master of integration because he shows that there is no light without darkness, no life without death, no rebirth without dissolution. His laughter is pedagogical. He laughs at our seriousness because he knows we take too seriously what is inevitable. He laughs at our attempt to control life because he knows life is untamable. He laughs at our refusal of death because he knows death is part of life. The laughter of Baron Samedi is liberating because it helps us accept what we cannot change. He teaches that laughing at death is a way of transcending it. Culturally, Baron Samedi is also a figure of resistance. Haitian Voodoo was born in a context of oppression, as the religion of enslaved people who needed symbols to affirm their identity and hope. Baron Samedi, with his irreverent humor and his connection to death, became a symbol of power against oppression. He shows that even in the face of violence and death, there is space for celebration and resurrection. He is the spirit who guarantees that life cannot be destroyed. In contemporary imagination, Baron Samedi appears in films, music, games. He has become a pop icon, but often reduced to caricature. Yet behind the caricature lies a depth that deserves exploration. He is not merely an exotic character, but a universal archetype. He speaks of the human condition, of the inevitability of death, of the necessity of rebirth. He is relevant because he touches themes that everyone faces. To narrate Baron Samedi is to build a bridge between cultures. He is Haitian, but also universal. He is voodoo, but also archetype. He is ritual, but also philosophy. He is symbol, but also experience. He is a figure who helps us understand that death is not the end, but the beginning of another passage. And in the end, Baron Samedi laughs. He laughs because he knows our seriousness is useless. He laughs because he knows life continues. He laughs because he knows death is only a mask. He laughs because he knows rebirth is inevitable, and we, hearing his laughter, learn to accept mystery.